In the late 1500s, if you lived near the Mediterranean, you didn't fear fire from land, you feared sails on the horizon. The Ottoman Empire didn't conquer with cavalry. They conquered from the sea. Hundreds of warships, Janissary soldiers, and naval guns. They burned coastal towns, took islands. They turned the blue Mediterranean into the shadow of the crescent moon. Europe didn't resist because they weren't brave. They didn't resist because they didn't think resistance could win until 1571, when a fractured Catholic alliance, led by a 24-year-old royal bastard, sailed out to confront the most feared fleet in the world. The battle lasted 5 hours, and when it ended, the sea was red. Just months before Lepanto, the Ottomans captured Cyprus. Venezia cried for help, and nobody answered. Spain feared France. Venice feared losing trade. The Pope feared for the faith but had no real army. Europe was cracked, cautious, and clinging to its coastlines. So when word spread that the Ottomans were planning a final push, a reluctant alliance was born. It was called the Holy League. But what it truly was, a table of suspicious kings, broken promises, and last-minute prayers. And to lead this fleet, they picked someone no one expected, Don Juan of Austria, 24 years old, royal bastard of Emperor Charles V. No naval command experience, just a name and the burden of failure. From the moment he took command, Don Juan was doubted. Venetian admirals wanted to act alone. Spanish generals whispered, "He's more armor than ability." Don Juan didn't protest. He listened, and then he gathered them all and said, "I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm asking you to survive tomorrow." He changed the fleet's formation, loosened anchor chains for maneuverability, put lighter galleys at the front, concentrated the strongest troops at the center. He didn't wait to be struck. He planned to strike first. The 7th of October, 1571. The dawn was clear. The sea was still. Two floating cities faced each other in perfect silence. Then, from the east, 250 Ottoman war galleys, black sails, red flags, drums pounding. The Ottomans chanted. The waves thundered. Don Juan turned to his men and said, "Behind us is home. In front of us is hell. Decide." He raised his hand. The signal flared, and the Holy League charged. Not cautiously, not defensively. They rammed, grappled, boarded. It was no longer a naval battle. It was a knife fight on floating wood. At the heart of the storm, Don Juan's ship collided with the Ottoman flagship. Janissaries poured out. One Venetian had half his face sliced off. He kept crawling and stabbed 2 men before collapsing. The fight turned into a blur of steel, smoke, screams. Don Juan's troops stormed Ali Pasha's deck. A musket shot struck the Ottoman commander in the head. His severed head was raised on a pike. And in that moment, the Ottoman morale snapped. They tried to retreat, but they were surrounded, trapped, burning, drowning. When the smoke cleared, over 200 Ottoman ships were gone. The Holy League didn't conquer new lands that day. They didn't change borders, but they changed something deeper. Europe's belief in itself. For the first time in decades, people in Rome, Venice, Madrid looked eastward and didn't just fear. They remembered what it meant to fight. Don Juan didn't become emperor, but in 5 hours, he gave a continent back its courage. Some battles aren't remembered for what they saved, but for what they refused to lose.